We have a great presentation here. Thanks so much to Canadian Assistive Technology Limited for joining us here today at our first virtual CFB convention. And this is the organization. So I'm just getting my notes ready here. I have my Braille display in front of me and sitting in a room with an Audio-Technica 4040 microphone. So our presentation one is from Canadian Assistive Technology. Let's welcome Steve Barkley.
Hello there. Thank you very much for having me. So I guess we'll just launch straight into it. So the reason I wanted to have a presentation spot today is because with my new company, it's often very, very difficult to get word out about what it is we're doing and to have everybody understand what we carry and what we do. So this is an excellent forum for it. Thank you so much for letting me in to babble on about ourselves. So Canadian Assistive Technology started about 4 years ago after Aroga Technologies died. When the company went down, the four of us who staffed the BC office, myself, Ryan Fleury, Rob Minot, and Rick Chant, sat down and we were talking about where we wanted to go, because the company that we'd all worked for many, many years was suddenly defunct. We all wanted to stay in the industry. We loved what we'd been doing, but we needed a new way to do it. So Rick started his own company, a company called Chaos Technical Services, and he's continuing to do repairs as he did at Aroga. He is working out of his home in North Vancouver. And he does repairs on everything from Perkins braillers on up to high-end augmentative communication systems, braille displays, you name it. He's an excellent technician, and if you do need something repaired, particularly if it's something that's out of warranty, he's oftentimes considerably faster at getting stuff repaired than the manufacturer's repair centers themselves. So he's a good guy to keep in mind. The rest of us, Rob Ryan and I, we started up Canadian Assistive Technologies, and we've been going ever since. So our purpose was to build this company to become a viable social enterprise. We want to be able to give back to the community, both in terms of services as well as in terms of donations to organizations. And we're actually making some good progress towards that goal. Our other goal for the company is to expand it across the country. Right now we've got the outfit based here in Burnaby, British Columbia, but ultimately we want to expand our services across the country and have more of a national presence as time goes on. But that is all dependent on people being able to maybe get out of their house and knock on a door time to time. So that bit's pending, you could say. As a company, we provide full service and support. We provide lifetime toll-free technical support on anything that we sell. We provide a free 1 hour of training with any new product purchase. If anything needs to go in for repair while it's under the warranty period, we will take care of shipping it for you to a repair center to get it repaired. We can also provide loan devices while products are being repaired. And of course, as I mentioned, we work with Chaos Technical Services for a lot of our hardware repair. The big takeaway that I want to leave with you guys is the scope.
Join the meeting.
Is the scope of the product that we're carrying. We're carrying a lot of product lines these days, and you may not be aware of all of them. And my apologies to a bunch of the people. I see a bunch of names in the room who have heard this presentation before, so it might get a little repetitive for some of you, but hey, this is what I do. So going through the manufacturers we represent, we are representing a company out of Sweden called Abilia. They make a communication aid called the Lightwriter SL50. It's a communication aid for people who can't speak. There are a lot of different causes of conditions where people lose their ability to speak, things like head injury, stroke. And the light writer is just a very simple communication device which allows them to type and have speech output generated from the device, as well as visual display that people can read. And it has things like switch inputs and scanning options and all kinds of different ways to interface with other devices like cell phones and so forth. So you can use it as kind of a hub for communication, both online and offline. We handle products from a company called AbleNet. They're a company that does a lot of physical access aids, and they do everything from switches through environmental controls. Literally, AbleNet products can allow a person with single muscle control to interface devices and to communicate and interface with computers and things like that. There's a lot of different products that AbleNet handles that are really critical for people with severe physical limitations. We handle products from Accessibyte. They're a company that does a talking typing tutor, which was developed by vision teachers. They also do a lot of educational software and games, and these days mostly they're doing it based on annual subscriptions. There is a Windows standalone, it's called the Typeo typing tutor, but they also have an online version of it now, which you can access from any device as long as it's got a browser, which is kind of cool. So if you've got somebody who needs to practice typing, it's an excellent program for teaching typing. We handle custom accessible furniture from a company called ADAS out of the States, and they can literally make any kind of height adjustable table that you could ever want. They make some really beautiful furniture. We handle headphones from Aftershocks, the bone conducting headphones. That's probably not as impressive as it might have been at one point, because I think you can get Aftershocks pretty near anywhere these days. They've really done well, those guys. And they've got some really excellent products. Ryan and I have started to use their OpenCom headset, which is a bone conducting headphone, but it's got a boom mic in front of it. It's got, I think, a 16-hour battery life to it. It's just a really nice, comfortable headset to use in the office when you're working on the phone all the time. We handle products from AI Squared, which is now, of course, part of the Vispero group of companies. So ZoomText and ZoomText Fusion, that's all under the Vispero umbrella these days. We handle the Canute multi-line braille display from Bristol Braille Technologies out of England. It's a 9-line 40-cell per line braille display, so 360 cells of braille. Essentially, it's an e-reader at this point, but rumor has it that they're working on a driver for NVDA as well. So potentially in the near future, we could have a multi-line braille display that is accessible through NVDA. I don't know if it's practical to expect that they will ever have a JAWS driver for it, because it is 6-dot braille. And the folks at Freedom Scientific have pretty much flat out refused to support anything other than 8-dot braille. So I'd be very surprised if we ever saw a JAWS driver for it, but apparently there is a pending NVDA one in development. We handle Dancing Dots products. So they make both large print and braille music software for both music composition as well as for just magnifying and producing braille music. Dolphin Systems out of England, their Supernova magnifier and their Dolphin screen reader, we handle those as well. Supernova magnifier has been kind of given a bit of a kick of late, because the federal government has discovered it tends to work better with a lot of their stuff than ZoomText does. So we're starting to see Supernova gaining more of a footprint here in North America than it typically had. We handle Duxbury for Braille translation for all you folks who are out producing Braille. We handle products from Eschenbach. They're optical magnification products. Unfortunately, we are no longer able to sell their video magnifiers because they have struck a deal with CNIB to be their exclusive distributor across the country for their video magnifiers. So we're locked out of those. the moment. We handle products from Enhanced Vision Systems. They make print magnifiers. You might be familiar with the Merlin or Da Vinci lines of magnifiers. They also do a reading machine as well. Freedom Scientific, again, sorry, I should also mention EVS is under the Vispero umbrella now, another company that's been bought up. Freedom Scientific, also Vispero, JAWS, their large print systems, reading machines. We handle all of their stuff, both hardware and software. Unfortunately, their hardware we are no longer able to sell in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and the Maritimes because once again, CNIB has struck an exclusive deal to handle it within those territories. HeartGen Consulting, we do their products such as JSay for interfacing JAWS and Dragon. If somebody has a really involved physical need as well as the need for speech output, it's an incredible interface to allow somebody to dictate into their computer and have speech coming back at them and completely control their computer by voice alone. And my colleague Ryan, who's also on the call here, loves to train people on it, and he's cursing me under his breath right now because it is super involved to learn it. It's not something that you take on lightly if you think it would just be cool. It's a very steep learning curve to learn to use that system. We handle products from HIMS out of Korea, their braille displays and their note takers, as well as a few other training products that they offer. We handle products for Humanware, our dear friends out of Montreal, who sell all kinds of braille displays, printers, training aids, tactile graphics, production products, talking book players, large print systems. But again, unfortunately, we are no longer able to sell those products within the provinces of Alberta and Saskatchewan because Humanware has struck a deal with CNIB and they are the exclusive distributors within Saskatchewan and Alberta. But we can sell it everywhere else. We have been the exclusive distributor in Canada of the Braille Me from Innovision. We are phasing that out, or we have phased that out at this point, and we're moving over to Orbit Research products for less expensive Braille products. The reason we chose to phase out the Braille Me is because we've had a 50% failure rate with the products that they've provided us so far. And when we have sent them down to the States where they're distributed by the American Federation for the Blind, when we've sent them down there, they apparently just pack them up and they send them to India for repair. So when you want to get one repaired, you're talking months to get one repaired. So between a 50% failure rate and months-long waits to get repairs, we just don't think that's cool, and we don't want to leave our clients in that position. We handle products from Iris Vision. Their Iris Vision head-worn large print system based around the Samsung cellular phone and the Gear VR headset. It's a very cool large print system. We handle products from IRTI, another company out of California that does large print systems and scanning devices. We handle the Tekla from Komodo Open Lab. Tekla is a really cool device that interfaces with wheelchairs, and it lets you use the wheelchair controls. So if you have a powered wheelchair and you've got a joystick control, through the Tekla, you can control all kinds of different things. It works with a system on the internet. What is it? I always forget the acronym. IIF something. Doesn't matter. The interface doesn't matter. But through it, you can control things like remote controls, environmental controls, pretty much anything that you can control through an Amazon Alexa or a Google device. You can control through a Tekla as well, and through a wheelchair interface. We handle Kurzweil 1000 scanning software. We handle many large print keyboards, from Logic Keyboard, from nice full-size desktop keyboards down to mini Bluetooth keyboards for accessing mobile devices. We handle products from LVI in Sweden. They have some really beautiful large print systems and scanning devices as well. Just lovely design on them. A little more expensive than a lot of the other things on the market, but really nice CCTVs. We handle products from NaviLens, a company which makes indoor navigation codes. They're kind of like a QR code, but with color. And you print them out. You enter a description into a database, and you stick them up somewhere. And then somebody can walk around with a cell phone and use the camera on their cell phone to locate these codes. And the nice thing about these codes is it will tell you exactly how far away from you the code is, as well as tell you the information that's on the code. So they're very good for indoor navigation and providing information in an indoor space. They can be used outside as well. They're not limited to inside, but they're used more for inside. We handle products from Optelec, which once again is Vispero, so large print and scanning devices from them. Orbit Research, as I mentioned before, they are an Indian company which makes inexpensive Braille devices. So they have the cheapest 40-cell Braille display out on the market right now, the Orbit 40, which is, I think, $1,890 Canadian. It's about half the price of a lot of other Braille displays that are out there. They also make a 20-cell version of it as well, which is quite a nice little device. And they also do talking calculators. So they've modified the TI 30 and 84 calculators. The 84, I think, is a standard in most parts of Canada in the education system. So they have a talking version of the TI 84. So students in class can use the same calculator that all the other students are using. We handle the Orcam MyEye products for little portable scanning device, a really cool little device that you can mount on the side of a frame of glasses and have it read text to you, or street signs, or whatever you can point at or put in front of it. We handle product from a company called Perceptive Devices called the Smile Mouse. It's another physical access aid. It's a product which allows somebody to control their computer through a webcam and facial expressions. So it'll track as you're turning your head, and it'll move the mouse correspondingly to how you're moving your head, and then you can smile to click your mouse. It's a very pleasant product. What else are we doing? We are doing products from Numa Solutions. We've been talking a lot about Numa Solutions product Scribe over the last little while, which has now gone to full release. Scribe is a product which, if any of you have attended presentations on Zoom where somebody's presenting a PowerPoint, you're probably aware that all of that information that they throw up on screen on their PowerPoint and share on screen is completely inaccessible. It just appears to a screen reader as a large graphic. So what Numa Solutions has done is they've created this bot which can join your meeting, and it looks at the screen and it compares the PowerPoint information to another version which it has parsed and put up onto an accessible web page. And it synchronizes the presentation on the accessible web page with the information that's being presented on screen. So you can use a screen reader, large print software, what have you, to magnify, speak the information that's coming from those PowerPoint slides. They've also just yesterday, I believe, released what's called the PVR feature for that as well. And that PVR feature will allow people to actually go back to previous slides and review previous slides and then move forward in slides. And they've added their own speech output. So there's the ability to play the slides with their own speech output if somebody doesn't have a screen reader. And that's particularly important for people with other print-related disabilities, such as dyslexia or other reading disorders, because they don't necessarily use screen readers, but they can still have the speech output as well as highlighting. It will highlight the text as it's reading it as well. So that can be really powerful for other print-related disabilities. We handle products from Right Here. They make Bluetooth beacons for indoor navigation again. The Bloom's kind of off that technology now. Beacon technology, I think, is pretty much on its way out. but still in use in some places. I think the NaviLens solution is a bit more of an elegant solution for navigating indoor spaces, and I'm sure David Brunn could talk on for hours about some of the other options as well for indoor navigation, such as creating indoor maps using LiDAR scanning, and anyways, we won't get into all that stuff. We handle large print calculators from Site Enhancement Systems based in Toronto. We handle a product called the Skoog, which is a squishy MIDI device. It is a little cube, and it's got these little rounded sections on the side of each of the cube, and it's squishy, and as you squish in different sides, it can play different noises. You can assign different sounds, different MIDI sounds to this device. It's used as a music therapy tool primarily, and but it is accessible, and it's kind of a cool device if you're introducing music to a younger kid. We handle the Sunu Band, an ultrasonic navigation tool. It's just a little watch that you wear, which has an ultrasonic sensor on it, and it's just meant to give you information about your environment. So you could, for example, have it in a crowded room. You'd be able to tell where people were in relation to you in a crowded room and help navigate within a room. Also good for detecting things like overhead threats when you're walking along, so you don't get cluned by a tree branch or something. We handle a lot of computer stuff from a company called Cynix. They're a major distributor of computers, computer peripherals, and so forth. So we can do any kind of custom computer solution that anyone needs. I usually put the proviso on it that we're not competitive with big box store prices, but we do have follow-up service. So when we configure a computer for somebody, we configure it completely, send it out the door so that when they turn it on, it's ready to go for them, and have all their AT pre-configured. We also put on a remote software which comes from Numa Solutions called RIM, which is a screen reader friendly remote support tool. So Ryan, for example, if he's supporting somebody with a screen reader, he can remote into their computer and he can actually hear what their screen reader is doing, control the computer, fix things, and then disconnect when they don't need us anymore. We handle products from TriSite. They are a company out of Toronto that makes large print systems based around tablets primarily. We handle the Typability typing tutor, which is a typing tutor specifically linked to JAWS. We handle way around tags. They're NFC chips in little stickers and clips, magnets that you can put on things to label them. If any of you are familiar with a pen friend, it's a similar sort of idea, only instead of having a dedicated device for doing the scanning, you use a cell phone. Most cell phones have NFC capability for reading these chips. So what you do is you take one of these chips, you scan it with your phone, you put in a description of it, and the next time that you scan it with your phone, it will deliver that description back to you. That description on that tag is also backed up to your account on the cloud as well. So if your phone dies, if you have to switch to another device, you don't lose all of that information. With the Pen Friend, if your batteries died, you lost everything. You had to relabel everything, but you don't have to do that with the way around solution. It's a very elegant solution, and you can put in as much information on a tag as you want to. An example, my colleague Ryan was putting tags on his record albums, and he was putting in things like tracks lists and all of the important information that he wanted related to that album. And last but not least, we handle computer accessories from a company called Excel out on the East Coast. They do every kind of computer peripheral you could possibly imagine, power banks and webcams and you name it, they've got it. So we've got an awful lot of different products available to us. Now, another thing we do is we have a demo pool. So we have a lot of equipment that is available for people to borrow to try out if they want to, consider something new. And right now we have a Canute, the multi-line braille reader. We've got an Orbit Reader 40 available, a Q-Braille XL. That's the braille display from HIMS, which has all of the keys that you would get on a QWERTY keyboard as far as the function keys go. So Control, Shift, Alt, Caps Lock, Tab, Escape, all the function keys, Insert, Home, etc. They've got all of those around a braille input keyboard. So you can input in braille, but you've still got all the keys to control your screen reader sitting right on top of the braille display. You don't have to go back and forth between the keyboard and the braille display. We've got a Braille Note Touch 32. We've got a Polaris, both the full-size Polaris and the Polaris Mini available to loan. Our Polaris is soon going to be going in to be upgraded to the Braille Sense 6, which is their newer version. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. Oh, pardon me. We have the Taptillo Braille training system. It's a very early learning tool for Braille. In large print systems, portables, we've got Compact 10 with OCR and speech from Optelec. We've got a MagnaLink Tab, the Surface Pro Edition, which is a 12-inch Surface tablet-based magnifier. We've got the Connect 12 from Humanware, Pebble HD and Amigo HD from Enhanced Vision Systems, the Explore 5 and Explore 8 from Humanware, the Transformer HD from Enhanced Vision Systems, the Reveal 69 from Humanware, the MagnaLink S from LVI. It's a portable plug-in camera that plugs into laptops. For head-worn magnification systems, we have loaners of the Geordie from Enhanced Vision Systems, the Iris Vision from Iris Vision, and the eSight from eSight in Toronto, which I just remembered is not on my product lines list. I got to add them. We do them as well. And if anybody's ever dealt with eSight and done a loan through them, you probably know that you have to pay money to do the loan through them. You don't have to pay money to do the loan through us. Oh, excuse me, my throat's scratchy all of a sudden. Desktop large print systems, we've got the DaVinci Pro from Enhanced Vision Systems, the Merlin Elite Pro from Enhanced Vision Systems, the MagnaLink 1 from Low Vision International, and the VisioBook from Visio Braille. Oh, another one not on my lines list. I forgot to add that one. I should mention, if any of you are familiar with BAUM from Germany, BAUM, they were a manufacturer of Braille displays and large print systems, and they went out of business a few years ago. Their products are now back. They're being manufactured by Visio Braille out of Germany, and we have the rights to sell them in Canada as well. Head-worn speech output, we have a demo of the Orcam MyEye Pro, and for augmentative communication, pardon me again, we've got the Lightwriter SL50 available for loan as well. So in addition to dealing with that stuff, Ryan, myself, and our colleague Rob are also the hosts of the AT Banter podcast. We've been doing that since May of 2016. I think we've got, I think it was 237 episodes up right now. So you can find us online at atbanter.com. And if you're familiar with the show, Ryan probably just hit a cowbell in the background there. We're also putting on a couple of different social events that you guys are all welcome to participate in as well. Every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific, we do the Tuesday Anti-Gloom Zoom room, which is just a social drop-in room. You're welcome to join in on that. And every Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific, we do our Thursday night pub night, which is the same, only everybody's getting drunk through the process as well, which is often entertaining with hysterical results. If you want to get involved in those, the best way to do it is to get on our mail list. And if you go to our webpage, which is www.canasstech.com. Yes, I know it's a little rude, but people remember it. It's CANASSTECH.com. If you skid down to the very bottom of that page, there's a sign up link down there. You can get on our newsletter list, and we will send you information about our social events as well as any news that we come up with in when we put out our latest post, I guess. So that's an overview of the company. I think I've burned through less than half an hour here, so I'm going to leave a big gap in time here unless people want to ask questions. So that was about all I had to present for you guys today. I think I maybe should have talked slower.
If people want to ask questions, if you want to raise your hand, and I will call on you. So it looks like Sky just raised his hand.
Hello, Steve. How are you?
Hi, Sky. I'm good.
Hey, Steve, I have a question about one of your products, particularly the Dolphin product. I've been thinking about this. You mentioned that it's gaining traction, and I've been thinking about this because as you know, 4 years ago, Windows was discontinued, and I'm wondering, where does Dolphin fit in Jazz's market share? Because if Jazz has so much of a market share, the others like Windows really had a chance at surviving. I'm wondering where Dolphin fits in.
Well, although Dolphin's never had much of an imprint here in North America, they're massive in Europe. They're really big over there.
Yeah.
And, so they've got a much bigger market share there than they do here. I don't see them going away anytime. They've been a player for a long time, and they seem to be going strong.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Thank you. That's all that's all I wanted to know.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
Next person is Doug. I'm going to unmute you, Doug.
Hey, Steve. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for the fine presentation. Always good to hear presentations from different companies, especially an independent company in Canada, of course. Got a question about I thought I heard that you're selling the Orbit braille displays. Just wondering how. I do work with voiceover, so I'm reading script and stuff a lot all the time. Just wondering how noisy these things are.
Well, we got our first Orbit 40s in just about a week ago, and started playing with them. And we'd heard that they were a lot louder than other braille displays, but to be honest, I didn't really find them to be that much louder than most other braille displays. There is more of a noise for sure. But it's not as bad as I expected. I don't know if Betty Noble is on this call. She's got our demo unit right now. She's been putting it through its paces. I don't see her on the list, so maybe she's not here. But yeah, we all agreed it was a lot less loud than we expected it to be.
Awesome. I was just sort of, I know it's always good to hear about these things. How much, if I could ask, how much are they going for?
I believe it's 1890 Canadian.
1800. That's for a 40 cell.
Yes, that's right.
That sounds like a very tempting price, I got to say. Yeah, I'd love to see one day, just to put one through its paces here as well. That would be kind of cool. But yeah. Thanks very much.
If you drop me an email, steve@canasstech.com, I can put you on the wait list for it. I think I've got one other person after Betty who's signed up to look at it, but I can definitely get you in the queue to have a poke at it.
Yeah, I'm not totally in the market for another braille display yet, but it would be nice just to have a backup one for, just in case the current one got to go in and get fixed.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Hey, thanks. I thought I'd ask the question. Thanks for the presentation, sir. Good job.
Most welcome.
Alrighty, next is Mary Ellen. Where did she go?
Oh, you're muted, Marielle. Oh, there you go. Oh, now you're in. No, now you're back to muted.
Thank you, Joanne. Couple of things. First of all, you noted a couple of times during your presentation that you'd been locked out of markets in Canada because of exclusivity agreements signed by manufacturers with CNIB. If any of us would like to work on pushing to reopen those markets, what would you suggest we do? And then I have a couple actual product questions after. So,
Well, I think about all you can really do is contact the manufacturers themselves, because they're the ones who are making these decisions to give exclusivity to CNIB. You know, I don't think it's really worked out for any of them that have done it, but everybody's giving the excuse that it's because of COVID at this point. So these agreements are just dragging on, whether they're working or not. So, you know, if you want to see change made on that, I think you'd have to contact Humanware and Vispero and Eschenbach.
okay, thank you. Now, you didn't mention Braille embossers. I have a Tiger View Plus, and if I wanted to upgrade the software, because my version is a Windows 7 version, if I wanted to get the Windows 10 version of their software, would I get it through you, or would I need to go through the manufacturer?
View Plus, unfortunately, is one of the few companies we're not dealing with. We've been doing our Braille displays through Humanware. They do all of the enabling technologies as well as the index embossers.
Mm-hmm.
So we've not really gotten into the View Plus stuff at all. You know, that might change in the future, but for right now, you'd have to deal directly with them.
Okay, and then my last question is, can you comment, or I don't know whether Ryan would be the best or someone there, comment on the comparative strengths and weaknesses of the new Humanware QI20 and the upgraded BrailleSense 6, which is like Polaris Mini?
Well, the Polaris, excuse me, the Polaris Mini hasn't been upgraded yet to the BrailleSense 6 platform, I guess you would call it. It's probably going to happen before too long, but they haven't actually laid out exactly when. So I don't think there's a good comparison there. The 20 cell Brailliant X and the 40 cell Brailliant X are not. They have some note taker features to them, but they're not full-fledged note takers like the Polaris. So it's not really a fair comparison. The Polaris has a lot more capability and is more in line with the Humanware Braille Note Touch than with either of the other ones.
Okay, thank you. That's helpful.
Alrighty, next is Albert. Oh, I think he just muted himself.
Albert, you're muted. There you go.
Sorry about that. See, I went and muted myself because I was already unmuted. At any rate, can you tell us more about that Aftershocks Bluetooth headset? Because I must admit, being very disappointed with the microphone on the Aftershocks Bluetooth bone conducting headset that I have been using, but you talked about one that has a microphone boom, which sounds like it might be a bit better.
Yeah, the OpenCom, it's better both in terms of the audio quality through the mic, because it is a boom mic. On the original Aftershocks, the microphone is on the earpiece, so you're really kind of talking around your head to get the sound to the microphone. The other thing I really like about it is the battery life. I mean, it's just a massive battery life on the thing, and I can sit in front of my computer playing music through my phone to the headset, and then when a call comes in, it just cuts off the audio there. I pick up the call. When I drop the call, it goes back to playing music, and I can do that all day, no problem. It doesn't even phase the battery on the thing. I think I could probably do it for 2 days with the battery life on here. It's a
Wow.
really nice headset.
Well, I know I've tried to do IRA calls with mine, and they just don't hear what I'm saying. Zoom calls are very difficult to do with the one I have. So that boom, and what's the price on that one with the boom microphone?
I don't remember off the top of my head. Hang on a second.
But is it sort of comparable to what the original one was? I think they were 80 or $100.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's somewhere in there. Do I even have it on my price list?
No, that sounds cool. That certainly will be my next headphone purchase. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I haven't updated my price list with it yet. I'd have to dig into that one for you, Albert.
That's cool. No, thanks, Steve. Thanks for your whole presentation. I didn't realize you had that many devices. I guess I've never spent time reading your catalog, but thanks.
This is why I do these presentations.
Yeah.
Nobody seems to know what we're carrying. All right, who do we have next?
Okay, next we have Roger.
Hi, how's it going today?
Excellent. How are you?
Good. My quick question is, you piqued my curiosity about the sonar. I think you called it the sonar watch.
Oh, the
that
Suit
is
Band.
okay. Yeah, I'm wondering about the pricing on it, and also I'm in Ontario, so is that included in your? You had like an inventory of different products that people can try before they buy.
The Sunu Band is not in there, and the reason we haven't done it is because by the time we ship it to somebody and return shipping, we've lost any profit that we could make on the thing, because we're selling. They're normally $395. We've got a big stock of them, so we've dropped the price to $295 to clear the stock out.
Okay, and could you maybe describe a little bit about, for example, if you are walking down the sidewalk, how it would be able to pick up, say, a person walking by versus like a overhanging tree branch, or does it just pick up everything?
Well, it's got, okay, so you're wearing a band, and on that band, you would normally wear it on your offhand from the hand that you were, with holding a cane in or holding a dog harness. And the ultrasonic sensor is pointing in the same direction as your thumb. So by angling your wrist, you can basically point your thumb at whichever direction you want it to be scanning. So if you're pointing it a little up, it'll be scanning forward and up in front of you. If you turn it to the side a little bit, you'll be picking up stuff more to the side. And it's basically detecting out in a cone from the, I don't remember exactly how many degrees the cone covers. But you can configure the sensitivity on it. There's a sensitivity setting which can go out to I think it's 12 meters, if I recall.
Oh, wow.
And then you can tune it down to much closer if you prefer to have a more of a tighter detection area. So it's quite configurable that way. There's an app for the phone for it as well that allows you to interface with it and configure it through the phone if you're using a smartphone.
Okay, and then while you're walking, do you need it to be paired with your phone?
No, you don't need it to. It can do it all as a standalone. It feeds back via haptic vibration.
Okay.
And you can control it. There's a touchpad on the top of it as well. You can control it through that, and there's 2 buttons on the side of it.
Because I can just imagine that, like, when you're walking, you're sort of swinging your hand, sort of beside you, forwards and back. So
Yeah.
I guess when you swing it forward, maybe that's the point where it might be able to catch anything overhead, as opposed to you pointing your thumb.
Mm-hmm.
Would you think that that's the way?
Yeah, you can definitely detect head level just with your hand at your side. But yeah, if you like, I know a guy he's out in Surrey near me, and he on his route home. He knows where the trees are because he's whacked his head into them enough times. So he just angles his hand up when he's going by the trees, and he knows where to duck now.
Yeah, well, Lord knows that a lot of us have bumped into things that we were not expecting on a sidewalk or just wherever that a cane wouldn't have picked up on. So I'm interested to look into this a little bit more to have as a, like, in addition to my cane. Okay, so thanks for the info.
Yeah, you're welcome. Who's next, Don Pardo? Sorry, is that reference too old?
Eric, you are unmuted.
Hello, Eric.
No? Okay. Sorry, I knew this would happen. I'm right in the middle of a bus station. Do you want to, all I wanted for now was just to make sure that we get in a plug for the Assistive Technologies Canada exhibit hall space later on this afternoon.
Good point. Yep, there is a virtual exhibit hall, and we will have a room for the virtual exhibit hall. So please feel free to come and poke your head in and visit with us.
Perfect. Thank you, Eric. There are no other hands raised. Oh, there's a new one. Ryan. Ryan, you are unmuted.
Hi, I just wasn't sure if Steve wanted to talk about our return policy because he didn't mention that.
Oh, yeah, good point. We have a 30-day return policy. So if you get anything from us and you don't like it, send it back. The only thing you don't get refunded is the shipping charge. That's a good one to mention. Thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? There are no more hands raised.
Alrighty. Well, I guess that's it for me then.
Thank you so much, Steve. Barkley, that was... Oh, did we just get another hand raised?
Oh, yes, we did. You right under the wire, Gabrielle.
Yeah, we still have time, so I'm going to mute and you can ask your question.
Awesome. Gabrielle, you are unmuted.
Hi, sorry, I just came 5 minutes ago and I was trying to figure out how to raise my hand. What sort of devices have been mentioned so far? Just I only came in when I heard the watch and something about a headset. Is that it that was mentioned about devices mentioned?
No, we mentioned pretty much every device under the planet.
Oh, okay. Is there a list online, or is it your website or something?
Yeah, our website is www.canasstech.com, CANASSTECH.com, and all the products are also listed there.